now we're going to hear some final words from Jay Sehgal, who's one of the great advocates, the great supporters of IPA. Actually, his foundation that he started with his uncle Suri and Dr. Suri Sehgal, they actually tried to start IPA about 10 years before IPA started. They saw the need, but just the timing wasn't right, right? And yet when we came about, did they say, oh, we were there first? No, they just said, how can we help make this work now? And the timing is right. But Jay serves as the Executive Vice President of the Sehgal Foundation in the US, a trustee of the SM Sehgal Foundation India. He represents the foundation on the board of ATRI, which is one of the leading environmental organizations of India, and serves on the board of High Tech Seed India Limited. He has a degree in business administration, MIS, with the emphasis on computer science from the University of Iowa. So India has a big presence on the coasts of the US, but there's a not fully appreciated presence of India in the middle of this country, in the south and other parts, even probably Alaska. But we'll have to explore that some other time. Jay served as the executive director of the SM Sehgal Foundation in India, so he really learned what was going on the ground level now that he can lead it from here. And again, is a great friend of mine and anyone who's trying to do good for India. Jay.
Thanks, Alex. That's quite extensive, actually. I didn't know you had all that information on me. Well, thank you. It's my pleasure to be here and give, Alex says you have 5 minutes to give closing remarks, but amount of information got covered here is just amazing. You know, it's just the organization presented and the people presented, it was quite a learning experience for me. As Alex said, I'm Jay Sehgal, and I represent the Sehgal Foundation. I'll give you a little bit of background about Sehgal Foundation. Sehgal Foundation is started by Dr. Suri and his wife, Edda. They lived in Iowa for many, many years because Dr. Suri is an agriculture scientist. And after retirement, or he doesn't retire, but he, after stepping down from his professional services and getting into the next phase of his life and philanthropy, he started the Sehgal Foundation and put aside most of their lifetime resources to start this foundation. Now, being in the Midwest, you're an agriculture scientist, and looking at India and working in India for many years, they both realized that impact, if you want to make really impact in area of reduction in poverty, you have to pay attention to the agriculture. You have to, because if you go, urban is a lot different. There's a lot of development. We look at India developing every day. You hear all these things, and many people, like Alex talked about earlier today, talk about India is developing. Why do we need to send money to India? A lot of those development, of course, is happening in the metros, in the larger cities, in the larger towns. But when you go to the really rural villages, the life stands still. So literally, life stands still. And only piece of asset, there's no skills there. The only piece of asset they have, the small piece of land, 1 acre, 2 acre land, for their earnings. So we said, coming from the agriculture area, we need to make a difference with those poor farmers in the villages to bring the impact. So we put a lot of emphasis, our organization put a lot of emphasis working with the poor farmers in the villages, how to bring the better skills, how to bring more unity, how they can produce more from their from the land, and how they can market their produce effectively in this. So it's bringing science to the last mile. We talked about quite a bit of last mile, bringing that technology to the last mile to the farmers. We know very well without water, there's no agriculture. So we also put a lot of emphasis. We said we need to, as an organization, put a lot of emphasis on water. In India, if you have water, you can do 3 crops a year practically, if you have water. But many of the farmers do only 1 crop a year in the rainy season. After that, many fields are left fallow, or the farmer actually buys the water. So we said, how do we bring more water efficiency, water storages to the farmers at the field level? Now, of course, water impacts all aspects of life, just not the agriculture, but also the village life in the villages. Especially the women are impacted by the water because they are have the responsibility of providing water for the family. They walk 3 miles or 5 miles, spend half of the day fetching water for the day, and that continues today. And hopefully, what Vijay talked about, what Venki talked about earlier, is to having this household-to-household water availability. Hopefully, that situation will change. But today, situation still remains the same, where women spend a lot of time on fetching the water and making the water available. So we take on this challenge of how do we harvest every drop of water that falls in the villages at the household level, at the village level, at the community level, and at the panchayat land. So we have a huge program on water conservation issues. Now, I know you work on water purification, but there has to be water to be able to purify. So we work on this, again, going back to the source, you have to make water availability to the farmer. I talked about women. Women empowerment is a very cross-cutting theme for our organization. And women empowerment, many times we think it starts at adolescent or the adult age. We realize that women empowerment starts at a very, very young age. And when you look at the schools where many of the girls are sent, these schools don't have the basic facilities of toilets and water, and you can forget about the playgrounds and the midday meals. And so we said we need to look at that particular aspect of it, or providing better schools in the rural community. So we work quite a bit in the villages on providing good infrastructure where there's a water availability, there's a toilets availability, especially for the girls, and availability to digital literacy. That's extremely, extremely important to bridge the gap between the rural and the urban communities. So it is one of the key programs for the Sehgal Foundation on transforming. We call it transforming lives one school at a time. So this is some of the, and we have been part of IPA, and it has been a tremendous experience for the Sehgal Foundation being part of, because the IPA offered tremendous learning experience from us, from other organizations. It is very well said that, individually one can create some small, that's their level success, but coming together brings a larger strength and creates a movement, and that's what I think Alex and Deepak and everybody has been pushing to bring IPA, bringing more organizations together to create this strength and the movement as we go forward. We join hands and we speak one voice. We have our disagreements and all those things. That's always there, but it is in the end we come to a solution, and that's where our India Day also started when I had just joined, and I joined during the COVID time. And the Sehgal Foundation joined COVID time, and I'm not going to take too much time, but there's a wonderful snacks outside. I think they're for us. David? Yeah. So we'll wrap it up here very quickly. But I attended the very first the IPA retreat, and we were talking about this India Day, and everybody drawing out huge charts and on the boards and all around. And I'm going, oh my God, what's going on? And we all had disagreement. Actually, literally, it fell apart. If I'm allowed to say, there was really a disagreement. But I think everybody went back to their, what they call going to the balcony, and really thought about it. And then we came back again in the afternoon and said, okay, let's jump in and let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. That's all. If it fails, okay, we learned something from it. But if we can create it a success, then it is a huge thing. And we all jumped in last year, and India Giving Day became I think it was quite a success. And you mentioned the amounts raised, everybody came together, people promoting, the kids are involved, every aspect. I mean, it just created a movement that we were looking for, because you join IPA and you say, what is in it for me? So this kind of things that you would really come together and get from joining the IPA, and I think a lot of people are watching, our partners are watching, and I congratulate all of you for creating this success and creating this movement, and we are very, very pleased that we are here today to launch the 2024 India Giving Day. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you, David. It's a tremendous facility and tremendous resources all of you have provided us, and Gail is and Drexel University. I think this is fantastic. Alex, thanks very much. I mean, this is great. Fantastic launch, and I would especially want to thank our young professionals, who are young students who are here, Utsav and Jenny, and Janine. I think you say you go by Janine, but I call her Rajani. I think you're Indian. So thank you very much for your fantastic sessions. Sehgal Foundation, and the many of the other IPA organizations, we take students from the U.S. to India and work in the villages, give that opportunity. There are two things, one is the financial capital, the other was intellect capital. We truly feel that students and the young kids bring a lot of intellect capital to what we do to offset or to go along with the financial capital that comes into the organization to create this success. So thank you very much all for being here, and I appreciate all, and thanks all the people who have joined online. We really appreciate it. This is a fantastic event, and we look forward to the success we're going to create for March 1st and the week before for 2024. Thank you again.